wintertime and I'm not going to be riding my bikes for a couple of months. How do we handle that? Welcome to Kraken's Garage. I'm your host, Eric. Today we're going to talk about 7 easy steps to winterizing your bike to get you through the wintertime till you're ready to ride in the spring. Step 1, fill the gas tank all the way up. Ethanol fuel is really corrosive towards rubber and plastic, pretty much what every fuel pump on every bike is made of. So leaving it around for 2 or 3 months really does some damage. So take your bike out, ride it down to the gas station, top it all the way up. The reason why you top it all the way up is you have space, airspace in between the level of gasoline versus the top of the tank, and condensation gets in between and cause a lot of rust and damage to the inside of your tank. Yes, in as little as 3 months. Now to offset the ethanol, throw some stable in there, or there's a plethora of different types of gas stabilization that you can buy at your local auto parts store that'll get the job done. Your best bet is to add the stable when you fill your bike up with gas at the gas station. Ride it 5 miles home or so to get home, and that way you've cycled all the stable up into the entire fuel system, the injectors, everything on the bike. That would be best case scenario. Step 2, change your oil. Now would be a good time to kind of plan your services. Now, I've kind of gone on a rotation with my different bikes, and I service them every winter, ride them all spring and summer and fall. If I ride them excessively, I may have to do an extra oil change or two during the spring or summer and fall. Basically, kind of time it so when wintertime gets here, boom, putting fresh oil in it for the next season. Now, it would be a good time in your full-size motorcycles and even the Benelli TNT. It'd be a good time to throw in something like a 20W50 oil in your bikes, so for that cooler weather when you get to ride in the springtime. Now, I know you folks in New Zealand, Australia, it's probably your summertime right now, so kind of maybe file this away in the back of your mind for next cold spell you have coming for a long period of time in your home. Come springtime, you fire up the bike, you're ready to roll with fresh oil, fresh gas that's been stabilized, and you can hit the ground running. First warm day you have to ride. What you don't want to do is have a half full tank of gas, dirty oil, bike not ready to ride, and hop on it and go for a ride. It's going to create some problems for the bike and put an undue stress on the drivetrain that isn't necessary. Step number 3, air up your tires. Folks that don't know, I'll throw a picture up on the screen, but on your frame of every motorcycle, as well as on the on your automobile, on the door jamb of the driver's door, there's a sticker that lists the air pressures for your tires for your specific vehicle. Same goes for motorcycles, scooters, whatever. Now, what you don't want is a flat spot on your tires. Ideally, you should get a floor jack or something like that and lift your bike off the ground and get the weight of the bike off of the tires. That way you don't get a flap spot. I've had bikes where I didn't do that, and then I set out to ride it, come riding season, and you get the dun-dun-dun-dun going down the road with that flat spot, and now you got irregular tire wear, and it goes downhill from there. It shortens the life of your tires, which are too expensive already to begin with. If you can't jack it up with a motorcycle jack, the next best thing is to fill them up with the proper air pressure, and then just put on your smartphone, put a tickler on there every couple of weeks to go out there and move the bike around the garage and get it resting on another part of the tire versus the same part. I know it's a pain in the neck, but those tires, $100 to $200 a pop, it's a lot of money. It's worth your time and effort to move your bike around your garage. Fourth thing is your battery. Don't be that guy that goes out and says, I don't put a charger on my battery. I just start it up and I let it run for 5 or 10 minutes. That is the worst possible thing you can do, especially on the big V twins. I read somewhere, I have to see if I can dig up that article, but on a Harley, full-size Harley motor, every time you start it, you have to ride it roughly about 20 miles for it to charge back up and get the battery to the level it was before you started it. It's that hard. It's the hardest time in a battery's life is trying to start a big V twin. And these batteries in the Benelli and the Groms and things of that nature are this small. It's the hardest time to start even that single cylinder. In the oil tank, you're actually, the oil never really gets to operating temperature, so any moisture in there never gets a chance to boil off. You have kind of 2 choices. If all you have is a car charger, something like this, and you don't have like a battery tender or something of that nature, that's okay. Just again, when you set up on your phone or laptop a reminder to move the bike around the garage for the flat spots on the tires. Throw a charger on it for an hour or so, top off the battery once a month till ride season comes around, and you'll get many more years use out of your battery that's in your bike. Next up is the battery tender, and the battery tender junior, I want to say runs about $39 US. That's the best way to keep your battery up and rolling. You can buy these at any motorcycle shop, hook them up to your battery, and you basically have a generic plug that you can plug a battery tender into, and other items as well to power your navigation, charge your cell phone, things of that nature. Battery tender, you just plug it in. You'll always see it blinking in the background of every one of my videos because I'm always topping one off. This is a slow charge that kind of tops it off, and when it gets it topped off, the battery tender, what's so brilliant about it is it shuts off. And then when the battery current sinks down to a certain level below, it goes right back to just trickling and topping it off, and it keeps it balanced all winter long. Using one of these, I get 5 to 7 years out of each battery in my Harley. That's unbelievable. Think about that. For your 39 bucks for a battery tender junior, I'll put a link down below to them, and as well as the attachment cables. Lastly, if you have multiple bikes, this is a power bank, and I can charge 4 bikes all winter long, all lined up right here in Kraken's garage. I'll put a link down below for this one as well if you're interested and you have multiple bikes. And the last way to take care of your battery is just remove it from the bike completely and take it to a climate-controlled environment. Now, you don't want motorcycle batteries in your bedroom or something like that if you want to keep a girlfriend and remain married. But you can throw them up on a top of the washer and dryer or something like that, or a cabinet in the laundry room, mud room, someplace like that, and just keep it topped off all winter. Step 5, before you put your bike up for winter, clean your bike, wash it, get all the bug guts off, all the road grime, all of that over the entire bike. Get it absolutely detailed and perfect. And it would also be a good time to get a good coat of wax on it, because when it comes time to riding it come springtime or when the weather warms up, it's a lot easier with all that dust from your garage or carport or wherever you keep your bike that's going to land on it over the next couple of months. It's a lot easier to clean that off if you have a fresh coat of wax on it. Plus, it protects your paint, so your paint's standing tall and looking sharp come ride season. After you're done washing your bike, I recommend you use a leaf blower of all things and blow the bike off. Get all the water, blow it out of the nooks and crannies, out of your switches, up in the housings. Get up in there with that leaf blower and blow that water out. Does a tremendous job, really makes it fast and easy. Believe it or not, they make motorcycle dryers that basically are nothing but a leaf blower that sits on the floor with a hose that you go around and blow the bike off. Also makes your chrome and your paint spotless, so I highly recommend it. I'll throw a couple of pictures of what I'm talking about regarding the motorcycle air blower. Just toweling it off does not get all the water up underneath your muffler shields and all the nooks and crannies on that bike. Step 6, what we want to do is cover up all the areas on your bike that a critter can get up into. Field mice are a nightmare. They climb up, they make nests and homes in your air boxes, your air filters, and also your pipes. Come springtime, come riding season time, you go to start your bike and you see a bunch of straw and debris flying out of your mufflers, and it doesn't start, and it goes downhill from there. It also provides an environment if they get up in there to chew up your wiring harness. I've seen bikes total. A friend of mine had a BMW GS. Mouse got in there and ate the wiring harness, totaled the bike. To replace the wiring harness on that older GS was astronomical in labor and parts. What we're going to do is take these grocery bags that we get and we toss out every time we go to the grocery store. We're going to slip them over the pipes, slap a rubber band on it. That'll keep them out of your pipes. Throw one over your air cleaner if you have like a cruiser that's got the air cleaner on the side. Don't forget to take the plastic bags off and start your motorcycle up and have it melt the plastic bags all over your pipes and air cleaner. Put some sort of note on there. Put a twisty up on the key that says remove plastic bags. So as a reminder when you go to start your bike come riding season. Last step is get a good quality motorcycle cover. Yes, you can buy specific ones from Honda for Hondas, and Harley Davidson makes one. They're kind of on the expensive side. There's other good quality companies that you can buy covers from. It doesn't have to be brand specific with Harley bar and shield on the side. Just putting the bar and shield on it adds another $50 to the price tag. The key to them is don't buy a tarp from your hardware store and put it over it. They aren't breathable and you'll trap moisture in there and you will get corrosion and bad things happening. let alone it chafing and starting to destroy the finishes on your bike. Another small tip for you is, I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in the United States, a lot of your motorcycle insurance companies allow you to have a off season, so you're not paying full coverage insurance or liability insurance all year long. Allow you a 3-4 month period of your winter. Let's say you live up in Michigan or something like that, where you get a really heavy long winter. Might behoove you to ask your insurance if they offer such an option with your policy. Save maybe another $100 on your insurance that would pay for that motorcycle cover to just taper off the insurance. The key to that, though, is you can't ride it during that time in the winter. Again, I do not know if that works, is available as an option to other folks in the rest of the world, but it is here in the United States with many of the insurance companies that insure motorcycles. Might save you $1 or $2, so check that out. And that brings us a conclusion to this video. Just some small tips. I'm not reinventing the mousetrap here. There's no news flash here. Everything I just showed you and went over with you has been gone over 100 times. I'm sure there's 35 videos on YouTube that explain the very same thing that I just went over with you. If you haven't seen it, kind of take these to heart and think about it. You'll get a much more luster out of your bike and longevity out of your bike and your battery. A lot of people keep asking me, what's up with the ghost dogs that come in? I do that because I hate asking for likes and subs and things of that nature, so I'm being cheesy. Say Kraken's garage is haunted. I pop in a ghost very quickly at the end with the like and subscribe that's gonna ghost in the background. Go right to my outro, so that's what that's all about. I have to revisit that because I get a lot of people that ask me what the hell's going on with the dogs. And with that said, there's our ghost dog. It's time to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more in the future, hit the subscribe button right down there in the corner. Remember, folks, go riding. It's good for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.